One fascinating sideshow at their RGA is the debut on the national stage of a crop of fresh new faces, newly elected a couple weeks ago. There are 7 of those from blue states such as Massachusetts and Maryland to red ones like Texas. Mark, what do you think among those freshmen, the guys who are just coming in, just showing themselves to the national audience, who do you think is the brightest new star among the Republican gubernatorial freshmen?
I think the guy who's got a great chance to be a star, but not till early next year, is Bruce Rauner, the guy who's elected in Illinois, where I am today. He is friends with Rahm Emanuel. Both of them, though, have played down their friendship. Rauner got hit for it in his primary to become the Republican nominee. Rahm Emanuel's playing it down now because he's got to win re-election with Democrats come February. But I think after February, a lot of people in Chicago I've talked to today say those two guys can team up. Springfield's a mess. Chicago still has a lot of economic problems. If those guys team up, I think they could be a bipartisan team that could bring this state back. This state is totally primed for a comeback with a little bit better management than they've had both in Springfield and here in Chicago.
Yeah, you know, I think I take that I think he's someone to watch for sure. The guy I really like and want to keep a close eye on is Charlie Baker up in Massachusetts. Someone the Boston Globe endorsed, kind of surprising. He's a former, he worked in the government under Bill Weld and Paul Cellucci. And understands how government works. He then had a time in the private sector in the healthcare industry where he did a big turnaround of Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. So he's got this business experience, he understands innovation, and he's running in the way that I think a lot of Republicans talk about what Republicans have to do, which is run as a Republican reformer, a guy who believes in government in a limited way and is really focused on how to make it work better in the 21st century rather than just trying to tear it apart.
Here, I think Baker's a totally impressive guy. Here to me, though, is his challenge. He's still got to deal with Romney Care and Obamacare. Yep. The party would like to look to him because of his private sector experience as somebody to talk about health care. But what does he say going forward about the Affordable Care Act? What does he say about an individual mandate when he's actually in office? I think that's a real challenge for him. But he's a bright guy. He's a Northeastern governor. He'll be a player in the Republican Party for sure.
I agree. It's a huge challenge. But I'll tell you, if he's got a cost containment issue to deal with on that health care plan up there in Massachusetts, if he tames that thing and they have something like universal coverage in Massachusetts in a market-friendly way within that space, and he gets the cost down, he will be looking awfully like a guy who has kind of picked the lock on health care. That could be a huge credential for him going forward. Okay.
Pack the cat.